Hunting in different countries puts you outside of your comfort zone. As you navigate whatever unique challenges these situations throw at you. The Dominican Republic was no different.
That was unlike anything I've ever done.
Whilst we were at Casa de Campo, we had the chance to head to their hunting property. Aptly named Rancho Peligro, to first chase doves,
Sure. Johnny Carter, the Dove King.
then have a day on Caribbean-driven pheasants.
Less English etiquette, more Spanish traditional rules, aka get at 'em.
An early start had a small group of shooters headed inland to the ranch, which is nestled in rolling grass valleys in the shadow of the mountains. The scenery here is absolutely stunning. The ranch is made up of lush grassland, dotted with trees and a small number of dove plots. These are small fields of specifically planted cover, surrounded by a perimeter of trees, providing a place that both mourning doves and white-winged doves will hopefully come to visit. We grabbed our guns, set up a single decoy, and headed into the hides, which, due to the low hunting pressure, didn't have to be much more than a shade to duck behind.
This is a beautiful part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very nice. Nice and cool for once in the morning.
What are we actually after today? What species of dove?
Morning doves, and we'll see a few white wings as well.
And is there a bag limit in place?
Should be 15 per hunter, same as America.
Well, we'll see if we're lucky enough to get it.
We're bright and early, they'll fly in. It's not like Argentina, they'll keep coming steady. Two down there, coming to your right, Johnny. One to get, if we can pick them. Oh! The white wings look just like a wood pigeon, really. Got a white bar on the wing.
Much bigger as well.
They're bigger than the morning dove. It's a good morning out or a good afternoon out over here. Quite social.
And a very different place to Casa de Campo, right?
Very different place to Casa de Campo.
For the sake of a half an hour drive.
Half an hour drive and you can have a good bit of fun. Get at it, Johnny. Shot. Johnny Carter, the Dove King. And Johnny pull it off. Shot.
Ed Solomons didn't teach me anything, but you taught me everything I know. Okay, is the Dominican Republic safe?
Very safe. Have you met anyone yet that you've been scared of?
You?
Apart from me. These boys, happy, always friendly.
Yeah.
It's like anywhere else in the world, if you went to the wrong part of a city
At night?
at night, maybe you'll be in trouble, but I've been here 8 years.
No drama.
Ooh, look out.
Oh, Adam's actually paying attention.
So I love dove shooting, particularly here. It's so exciting because you've got all sorts of different speeds, angles, heights. You can have high doves, low doves, shoot 360 degrees, and it represents every type of shooting, from grouse shooting to high pheasant shooting.
There it is.
Yours? Nice shooting.
Quite manoeuvrable little devils, aren't they?
As the temperatures rose, the birds really started to come in, and everyone started to get their eye in. Having high cover on our backs was great for hiding our outlines to incoming birds, but it also meant they could be on top of you in a heartbeat.
Oh, folded him up. Oh, folded him up.
We're game shooting just over the hill tomorrow. What is the plan? What should we expect? Because the terrain here is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see behind you, you got the hills.
English style?
English style, but we call it American driven. You're on pegs, birds are coming over your head, you're shooting them just like you would be in England. You'll fly in, it'll take you 8 minutes. I'll meet you at that end. We'll take you to the casita. You'll meet your loaders. You'll head down the hill and the drive will start like a normal day anywhere. Are you a little excited or a little nervous?
I'm extremely nervous. Shooting game, slightly different place.
Yeah, they fly exactly the same, just because they're Dominican birds. Yeah, it's going to be warm. As you can feel, it's warming up a bit now.
Ooh.
behind you.
I wanna go somewhere far away.
Shot, Johnny. Ooh. As we were saying, a little bit tricky. They can come from anywhere. Oh, he took the high one. Get it, Johnny.
You've got to be on them to kill them. You can very easily drop a leg or pull a wing.
Okay, across Johnny. Good shot. Shot.
Coming in, straight in.
Get it, Johnny. All yours.
Yes.
Oh. Oh. Yes.
Since I first saw Steve Ranella on a dove hunt, I have wanted to try it. It was worth the wait. I would fly back there tomorrow for a week in that hide. This was also the first time I had ever limited out, as did all the other shooters that day. A very special day of firsts indeed.
Well, that was fantastic.
Exciting.
Very variety of shots, good fun, great company, mate.
No, good fun. We got our limit.
Thank you very much.
This was a good day, but there was more to come tomorrow. I was very kindly invited to join a varied team of guns to accompany them on a day of driven pheasant and partridge shooting back at Rancho Peligro.
Here at Casa de Campo, we've been shooting driven game 15, 16 years. Stood down in some good valleys, Devon valleys, gullies, birds coming from over the top, pheasants, partridges. You would go for your breakfast, we would load your guns, take your cartridges. When you arrive out at the shoot at Rancho Peligro, everything's there waiting for you. We go off then, generally we do 3 drives, so we try to limit it to a morning shoot because of the heat. Generally double gun. If you're not happy with double gunning, not familiar, we can do single gun. We'll shoot 1 drive, go back to our casita where the tea and the coffee and the cold drinks are laid on. Repeat the process again. What makes the pheasant and the partridge shooting such a special thing is you're an hour away from Florida, 4 hours from New York. You're experiencing a true driven English shoot. Driven birds, you're standing on the peg numbers. It's an English thing in the Caribbean, so you've always got the nice weather. Sometimes it gets warm, but it's just a unique experience. You can't get that anywhere else.
We started the day with my first experience in a helicopter. For those who don't know, I'm terrified of heights. Interestingly, this is also my first experience shooting game without the ubiquitous tweed and tie.
The flight was, it's a different gravy in a helicopter. I've always been a 4 wheels guy. I like the feeling of being secured to the ground. I like motorbikes, but in a car you're safer. It was when the wind comes and you just feel yourself being pushed across the earth. And you realise that if it all goes wrong, that's it. I am genuinely excited. I think we're not going to go too hard. We're just going to pick some nice birds and maybe hit some. Yeah. You never know. This is unlike anything I've ever done. I'm hot and sweaty. The birds are flying great. We're stood in the beautiful sunshine. They're coming really well. The wind is picking up a bit now. Those birds are moving. There were some good shooters here. Not that good. Shot. Did a little bit of a break mid-drive to clean my glasses. I am a bit of a mess.
Although there's a vast fleet of rental guns, I opted to shoot a single gun instead of double gunning.
Gun's getting hot now.
Plenty of shooting mixed with the heat of the sun had my barrels scorching my fingertips off as I tried to remain composed in something that was so familiar to me and yet so foreign. There's different rules of dress codes, different rules of what is shootable, and much more light-hearted atmosphere to what you get in the UK. But what can you expect? This is the Caribbean.
Eugene, that was a brilliant experience.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that's very
I
good.
think we
Excellent.
both needed water. We both worked hard there. Not many came straight over us, but luckily left and right was quite busy.
Ah, so very angles.
Well, that suits me, I think, because what did come to us, I missed.
Yeah.
And to you, mate, and to you. First drive of driven shooting done. I've said this a few times when we go into any American sports. There's a lot of cultural snobbery when it comes to hunting country to country. And it's really important to go into these things with an open mind. And that was fun. That was a real experience. What's real interesting is the picking up team. They come through in a huge line. There's a couple of dogs that belong to Jake. You got two guys on horseback running a line, keeping them straight, picking up every single bird. And they'll cover like a 500-yard stretch from the middle of the cover all the way to the back of the hill behind. We've got another drive to do. Let's go do it.
After a hot weather-friendly 11s and a much-needed drink, we loaded into the vehicles and rolled over to the next drive.
It's steeper. We're a bit closer to the cover.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah. Pretty hot.
So we're playing Spanish rules today, which means less English etiquette, more Spanish traditional rules, aka get at them. Neighbours' birds aren't necessarily neighbours' birds, etc, etc. There's some very talented shooters here, of which I might have been one on the first drive. I'll tell you what, as much as the heat is a challenge, it's a real pleasant challenge to have. It's better than rain or snow. In the knowledge that we're going to be back home for lunch shortly, certainly makes us better. You have to kind of hold yourself, calm yourself, actually point the gun in the right direction. Dominican Republic could be one of the most beautiful countries in the world. It's absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Presidente is a great beer.
Exactly. I like
Absolutely exhausted.
This day was towards the end of the season here, and this is as hot as a shoot day here gets. To this effect, we made the decision to only shoot 2 drives for the sake of all involved.
Even though we're in the Dominican Republic and you're hot and you're bothered, you still have to remember to shoot them right, which is interesting. It's much easier to lose your head with the pressure of heat than it is the pressure of cold. I'm not saying I'd rather not be feeling my fingers and wrapped in 30 layers of shuffle right now, but it's this is fast and furious.
Yeah, that's
The partridge are different. That was a test of me, you, the gun, Sasha.
cool.
But look at that.
Yeah.
I boiled the oil out of the chokes.
Yeah, you have to clean them very good about. Yeah. Very boring.
That was unlike anything I've ever done. I'll give you these.
Excellent. Yeah, that's very good.
Thank you, man.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Okay.
How did we do?
Cool. Excellent. You
Yeah, we'll take good on cool and excellent.
This was yet another amazing experience. Having been involved in driven game shooting since a relatively young age, I spent more of my day taking in all the differences and enjoying every single one of them than I should have, especially the respect and demand for the dead game by shooters and staff alike at the end of the day. We stopped at the casita for a drink before heading back to Casa de Campo for late lunch and a cheeky round of clays with Jake. I had a ton of questions to ask him as I digested the experiences of the last few days.
That was a different experience.
Yeah.
It was hot. It was fast and furious and intense, and most shoot days are not. But I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the birds were fantastic, and I managed to miss a lot.
Good.
I guess that's the point.
That's the whole point.
But it's still enough time to hang out with people and spend some good community and have some great conversations with intermittent, large amounts of shooting. Good, strong, high birds.
Yeah.
What more could you want? The partridge especially were
Curling.
very curling.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of wind, just enough, and they went where they wanted to go.
They climbed and they curled away on it.
What an experience. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. Glad you enjoyed it.
How many days do you do a year?
Normally around 15
And
of those driven days, like you experience, some back to back. Some people go 3 days in a row. Why wouldn't you? You've got this beautiful resort,
make the most of it.
not far from the resort. You got the weather.
And you do duck shooting as well and dove shooting. So you can offer pretty much anything to anyone.
You've seen it. Where else can you get the driven game, the clay shooting, the doves, the ducks, the pigeons,
Whatever you want.
a big high tower?
It is a shooting man's paradise and an epic sporting course as well. Sweaty hug?
No, we just do a handful.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm sad to say that this is the last video from our Dominican adventure. I feel truly blessed to have had this experience, and rest assured, I'll be back one day to make more memories. Between the experience of shooting clays in the jungle, the memories of the birds at the Danger Ranch, and the new friends I've made along the way, the return trip is guaranteed to be as good, if not better. My thanks to Jake and all the Casa de Campo team for how well they looked after us on this trip. Thank you to our generous hosts for making all of this possible, and thank you to you for joining me on this extraordinary journey.
Thank you for watching, guys. This channel is made possible by our amazing sponsors. You can find out more about them in the description down below. And if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. You get loads of extra content, well, some extra content, and occasionally we hook up and go clay shooting together as a membership group. If you don't feel like joining today, we really appreciate you watching and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.